Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learn English with Mary and Sam. We're so happy to have you with us today.
Hi there. It's great to see you again. In today's episode, we're going to cover a really useful skill, asking for directions in English.
That's right. Asking for directions is a skill you'll definitely need. Whether you're traveling to a new place, moving around a big city, or even just navigating through a neighborhood. It can be a little stressful if you don't know what to say, but don't worry. We're here to help make it easy.
Exactly. Imagine this. You're in a new city, maybe London, New York, or Toronto. You want to go to a famous landmark, but you're not sure where it is. What do? How do you ask someone for directions?
Good question, Sam. The key to asking for directions is being polite, clear, and confident. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to ask for directions naturally and confidently in English, and you'll understand the common responses you'll hear.
Absolutely. And we'll also share some tips on how to avoid misunderstandings and sound more natural when asking for directions.
So, whether you're traveling or just practicing English in everyday situations, stick with us. We've got a lot of useful phrases and tips coming your way.
Before we dive into the conversation, let's quickly go over what we'll be learning today. By the end of this episode, you'll be able to ask for directions clearly using polite and easy to understand phrases. Understand common responses when someone gives you directions. Use key vocabulary related to locations and directions, like street names, landmarks, and common phrases. Avoid common mistakes that people often make when asking for directions. Practice natural-sounding English with cultural tips on how to sound polite and confident.
Sounds like a plan, right? Let's get started.
All right, let's imagine a real-life situation. You're in an English-speaking city, and you need to ask for directions. What should you say? First, you need to know how to start the conversation politely.
Exactly. The best way to start is with a polite greeting. If you're walking down the street, you could say, "Excuse me," to get someone's attention. It's always important to be polite when you're asking for help.
Right. Then you could ask, "Could you help me?" Or, "Can you tell me how to get to?" For example, you might say, "Excuse me, could you help me? I'm looking for the nearest subway station. Can you tell me how to get there?"
That's a great example. And remember, you can always be a little more specific about what you're looking for. Instead of saying, "Can you tell me how to get there?" you can say, "Can you tell me how to get to the nearest bus stop?" Or, "Can you point me to the nearest café?"
Exactly. Now let's break down a few of those phrases. The first phrase, "excuse me," is a polite way to get someone's attention. It's the same as saying, "Sorry to bother you," or "Pardon me." Always use this when approaching someone for help.
Then, "Could you help me?" is a friendly and polite way to ask for assistance. You could also say, "Can you give me directions to?" These are all common ways of asking.
Great. Now let's practice these.
"Excuse me, could you help me?"
Can you tell me how to get to the nearest subway station?
"Could you point me to the nearest cafe?"
Well done. These are some excellent ways to ask for directions.
Okay, so now you've asked for directions, and the person you're speaking with is going to give you an answer. What kind of directions might they give?
Great question. There are a few key words and phrases that people commonly use when giving directions. Let's start with the basic ones.
If someone tells you, "Go straight," that means you should keep walking forward without turning. For example, "Go straight down this street for 2 blocks and you'll see the museum on your left."
Right, and if they say turn left or turn right, that's your clue to make a left or right turn when you reach the intersection. Here's an example. Turn left at the next traffic light and you'll see the park on your right.
Another phrase you might hear is, "It's on your right," or "It's on your left." This is telling you which side of the street or road your destination will be. For example, "The cafe is on your left, next to the bookstore."
Yes, and sometimes people will give you more specific instructions, like "it's just around the corner," or it's a short walk from here. This means that your destination is very close, so you don't need to go too far. Now let's talk about some common mistakes that people make when asking for directions.
Yes, one mistake is being too vague. If you just ask, "Where's the park?" without saying which park you mean, people might get confused. Always try to be as specific as possible.
Another mistake is not asking for clarification if you don't understand the directions the first time. It's totally okay to say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or "Could you say that again more slowly?"
That's an important tip. People are often willing to help, so don't be afraid to ask for clarification. Also, make sure to listen for key details like street names, landmarks, and turn instructions.
Another cultural tip. In some English-speaking countries, people are used to giving step-by-step directions, but in others, they might just point and say, "It's that way." So, if you're not sure, ask them to explain it again or give more details.
Absolutely. And one more thing. After someone gives you directions, always remember to thank them. A simple, "Thank you so much," or "I appreciate your help," goes a long way.
Great advice, Mary. So, remember to be polite, ask for clarification when needed, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
All right, let's quickly recap what we've learned today. When asking for directions, start by saying, "Excuse me," to get someone's attention. Use polite questions like, "Can you help me?" Pay attention to phrases like, "Go straight," "Turn left," and "It's on your right" to understand the directions. If you don't understand, don't hesitate to ask them to repeat or clarify.
And always remember to thank the person who helped you, even if the directions weren't clear. A little politeness goes a long way.
Thanks for joining us today on Learn English with Mary and Sam. We hope this episode helped you feel more confident about asking for directions in English.
We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you ever had to ask for directions in English? How did it go? Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future episodes. We've got more lessons coming your way.
Thanks again for watching and keep practicing. We'll see you next time.